We're going to play, make it stick, play, play. Good first touch, move. Good first touch, play. Just make it stick, that's perfect. Yes, legends, what's going on? Lee Jones here from Joner Football. Have you subscribed yet? You probably haven't. If you enjoy this video, hit that subscribe button. If you don't, well, that's all right. That's your choice. You don't have to hit it, whatever. But if you enjoy this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into today's video on how we can improve our first touch. Guys, first touch in football is massive. For me as a coach, I bang on about it a lot with my players. For me, it's in the top 3 technical attributes you must have, non-negotiable. You must have a good first touch if you want to play at the highest level. So if you're a footballer and you're watching this right now and you really want to be a professional footballer, you want to have a career in football, then first touch is something that you have to be good at, non-negotiable. You need a good first touch for every single position. And today in this video, I'm going to show you how you can train it, and I'm going to give you a few tips on how to get better at your first touch in football, in your games. So stick around, leave a like on this video. If this video can get 700 likes in the first 24 hours, guys, we have 150,000 subscribers. Surely this can get 700 likes in the first 24 hours. The more likes you get, the more it sees on other people's pages. So if you can hit that like button, much appreciated. Let's get into today's video, how we can improve first touch. Guys, the first tip I'm going to give you is we have to start on a short scale. So I've got my 2 boards here. Whether you're a beginner, amateur, pro, I always recommend just starting on a short scale first. And let's start with repetition and getting that muscle memory, just repeating the same movement over and over, just so we can get consistent and it becomes second nature to us. Obviously, there's loads of different types of first touches that we can do. The most common one in a game is inside foot. So the first one, I'm going to show you a couple of drills that you can start to do to develop your first touch, and I'll give you those tips along the way. So I've got 2 boards here in a little L shape. The first one I'm going to do is just maybe work for 30 seconds, couple of sets, 2 or 3 sets, until you want to work, guys, until you get it spot on. So the first one I'm going to do is working on making the ball stick, and I'm going to give you a few coaching points on that. So we're going to play, make it stick, play. So what we're developing here is left and right foot. First touch has got to stick. So what we're developing here is if my first touch gets away from me, the drill is going to break down. And like I said at the start, guys, everything first and foremost is on a short scale. So lots of repetition, getting that muscle memory until it becomes second nature. So we want to be central to the board, bang, set. I might even start with a slow speed, and then as I get confident, I can start playing it a lot further. So nice and soft with my touch, to try and be as consistent as possible. So let's talk about a few coaching points there. In order for us to be consistent, that first touch has got to stick. How do we make it stick so that it doesn't get away from us? A big one is, and you're going to hear me say this throughout the video, is read the flight and the pace on the ball in order for you to adjust your feet in the right position to make that first touch stick. So what I mean by that is, if I absolutely fire it, I've got to be able to read that quickly. I've got to process that quickly in my mind and then adjust my feet in the right position to be consistent. Let's say that the next one is a bit bobbly. I've still got to try and have the same outcome as if it was a firm pass. So all these little factors are so important in terms of you being consistent. I'm very lucky that I've worked with some top level professionals, and when I do this type of stuff in like basic warm-up stuff, they're just so good at it, guys, and that is why they play at that level, because they do the basics really well. So that's my tip for you, is you've got to read the flight of the ball even on a short scale, okay? Connect in the middle of the ball. So that's so important. If I connect on the top of the ball, it might get stuck under my feet. And a big one is if what I say to my players, if you've got trampoline feet, it's going to get away from you, and that is definitely going to be a talking point throughout this video. One of the worst first touches you can have is a trampoline touch where it gets away from you, because then you're going to turn over possession. So on a short scale, if you can find walls or boards, this type of stuff, doing a lot of this stuff is going to get that muscle memory, get that repetition. So play, set, reading the play, nice and firm. That one there came off on a bit of an angle, turn my hip. So I'm just making it stiff. Middle of the ball, play, and as I get confident, I'm starting to play it a bit firmer. All right guys, number 2, the tip I'm going to give you is, so the first one we just worked on is making it stick, which later on in the video we're going to work on that on a bigger scale, so receiving passes from a bigger distance. For now though, we're still going to keep it at a short distance. So the second one now is, in a game, you have to have that ability to move your touch into space as well. So the first one, we made it stick. On the second one, we've got to move that ball. In this drill, it's so basic, but so effective. In this drill, we're going to work on moving the ball across our body. So really simple. A great drill that you can use is play the board, shift it across, left side, shift it across, right side. Move it across your body, play, move it across your body, play. So I'm going to talk about the coaching points now in terms of getting that touch out your feet. So if you want to be a top player, for me, you need to be able to do every type of first touch. Chest, thigh, outside foot, inside foot, out your feet, make it stick, deal with the ball out the air, deal with a bobbly pass, deal with a firm pass, all types of scenarios, guys. So with this one, the biggest coaching point I would say again is you got to read the flight, guys. That is, again, similar to the first one. Is it firm? Is it soft? Is it bobbling? These are the things I have to process very quickly in my mind, okay? So what we're going to do in this one is, as it's traveling back, I've got to get myself in a position, knees bent, chest forward, so I can touch it and keep it in front of me. So what a lot of my players do when I'm doing this drill, sometimes their touch might go backwards, and now I'm facing away from where I want to go to on my second phase. So this is why this basic drill is so good, because it's got a second phase in it where we play. Can I keep it in front? Play, keep it in front, play. And again, we're looking for consistency, guys. Similar coaching points to the first one, middle of the ball. The only difference is now we have to move the ball now as opposed to stick. So a lot of the common mistakes that happen when I'm coaching players is they already start to move before they receive. So now I'm off balance, and then it's going to be a struggle from that point on. So what we want to do is focus on the touch and then move. So play, touch, and then shift. Play. You see how that one there was a bit heavy? That's why the old trampoline touch is just not good for you guys. So play, very delicate, so that we're in line with this one. Play, good first touch, move. Good first touch, play. Good first touch, play. Set, eyes forward, play. Bang, play. Once you get confident, guys, start to play the passes nice and firm, which is then going to work on, at the higher level, they play the passes nice and firm. So you should always build your way up to playing it nice and firm, because that's what it's like at the highest level. They play their passes nice and hard, so you have to get used to receiving a lot of passes like that. So that's number 2, guys. Work on making it stick and then start to shift it out your feet. These are just basic drills. Let's move on to number 3, where we're just going to crank it up a little bit. Okay guys, tip number 3 is pretty much putting into practice what you've just done, which is making the ball stick or moving the ball, but on a bigger distance pass. I got young Johnny Conrad over here, Jasper Saki. You can't see him, but he's at a bigger distance on the pitch. And Jasper, what I'm going to ask you to do is just play different types of passes into me. Might be some firm, some soft, couple of bobbles. What I want to make sure I'm doing, guys, is that it's the same outcome. So the first one I'm going to work on, Johnny, is just making the ball stick, all right, from a bigger distance. That sun is ridiculous, so I'm going to turn my hat the other way. Yes, Johnny. So I'm going to read the flight. Can I make it stick? So obviously the ball's coming from a bigger distance now. Nice and light on my feet. See that one there? It didn't quite come to my feet. I've still got to be able to adjust. So adjust, make it stick. That's perfect. That's perfect. One more, Johnny. So adjust and play. So there's one big coaching point I want to talk about when it comes to first touch, okay? And this is huge. This is a great tip, guys. When it comes to receiving the ball, I like to use Ronaldinho as one of the best examples. When we're working on making the ball stick, so it's got to stay close to you, there's a huge coaching point that I use with my players is you have to relax your body. Relax your mind, relax your body, don't panic. So players, yes Johnny, players that be panicking, it's going to come away from you, it's going to give that trampoline touch that we were talking about before. And that is solely because of the way you're thinking. If you can just relax your mind, relax your body. Yes, Johnny, so I'm on my toes, but I'm nice and relaxed. Bang. It's going to stick and stay, and I'm going to be nice and soft with it. Johnny, if you absolutely fire it, which is harder to deal with, again, I've got to relax my mind, relax my body, but pull my foot back to take all the pace out of the ball, so then it still sticks. Fire one in, Johnny. Oh, that's not bad, but it's still stuck. Go again. So same speed on that, Johnny. I'm just going to read the flight. Not bad, a little bit bobbly again. The ball still hasn't got away from me though, guys. So soft, that's perfect. So you can see there, they're bobbling in as well, so they're a lot harder to receive. None of them were like perfect touches, but they still never got away from me, which is crucial. So in a game, I'm still able to play. So what I'm trying to teach you there, guys, if you're training this with a friend on a field, relax the mind, relax the body, read the flight of the ball. Same again, Johnny, fire it in. And just can we be soft with it so it doesn't get away. And then back to the first one, if we can keep connecting in the middle of the ball, it's going to keep that consistency levels high for you guys, okay? So that's a huge tip on number 3. Relax the mind, relax the body. Don't panic in a game, because in a game, you're going to have people pressing you, which I'm going to move on to my last tip, guys. In a game, you're going to have people pressing you, closing you down. One, you got to know where you want to take your touch or what you're doing with it, but just don't panic, guys, because when you panic, you're not in control of your thoughts and it could go anywhere. Johnny, one more. Go on, fight it in, son. Fight it in. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay, guys, and then the last one, once you've started to get that consistency down pat and it's second nature, we need to start introducing awareness. So awareness is key in terms of what decision we're going to make with our first touch or a first time pass. So again, guys, once you've mastered it, we now need to start introducing what type of touch you want to take in a game. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways on how you can introduce awareness, which is cognitive training, awareness into that passing and first touch. So let's go back to the first one. I've got an iPad there, which is our numbers training tool. Guys, it's not an app. I'll put the links down below to download the training tools. Going back to that first drill that we did, I can now introduce being aware of what's around the board and beyond the board. So I've got the iPad there. Could be, as I play and turn, I've got to try and give that number. So what we're trying to do now is just train the brain to do two things, just like a game. In a game, we don't just want to be focusing on our first touch. We also want to be focusing on what's around us and what decision I want to make. So as I play the board, give the number 4, 19, 19, 6, 6. Good, and you can see it's just a little bit sloppy compared to my first set without the iPad. So what it does is it starts getting the brain training as well. So we're starting to develop processing things quickly in our mind, which for me, the best players do that. Players like David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, they see things quickly. So then they're able to make great decisions on a pitch. Going back to when Jasper was firing it in, we can start introducing scanning our shoulder before we receive, just getting good habits. There's loads and loads and thousands of different ways that you can train first touch. Just scroll through our channel. We have playlists on our channel that show you ways that you can develop first touch. I'm just showing you and giving you some tips on how we can develop it in a short scale and a big scale, but giving you those little tips on how to be consistent with it. Using the iPads is realistic in a way. Obviously in a game you wouldn't shout numbers and colours, but It just gets you into a habit of being able to see things. Loads of repetition, guys, is key. It's really not that hard. Just practice, 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 and you will get better at your first touch. Johnny, that is the video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that subscribe button. And if you got this far, I want you to comment Shano. I want you to comment Shano if you got this far. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace.